A Dalton home that she leased to Mayor Tiffany Henyard has filed eviction papers. She says Henyard has not paid her rent, and now she wants her.
South suburban politician Tiffany Henyard appears to have lost control.
Once hailed as a groundbreaking figure and the first black female mayor of Dalton, Tiffany Henyard's political career has taken a stunning and troubling turn. What initially appeared to be a trailblazing achievement has unraveled into a scandal-laden tenure, plagued by serious allegations of corruption, financial misconduct, and the misuse of taxpayer dollars. Henyard's once strong hold on power in the small Illinois town is slipping, and her political future is now hanging by a thread. Her time in office, once filled with promise, has now become synonymous with mismanagement, lavish personal spending, and growing legal challenges, leaving the community in disarray. The heart of the controversy lies in allegations that Henyard used public funds for personal expenses, including indulgent spending on luxury hotels, first-class flights, and questionable purchases that have sparked outrage among Dalton residents. Among the most shocking revelations was a reported $43,000 shopping spree on Amazon in a single day, alongside a $10,000 stay at Atlanta's prestigious Four Seasons hotel. As the scandal continues to unfold, town trustees have been left scrambling to address the financial damage caused by Henyard's actions. The town's infrastructure and public services have suffered, and the town is now facing crippling debt. Despite the mounting pressure, Henyard remains unapologetic and defiant, refusing to cooperate with investigations or support any efforts to restore financial accountability in Dalton. Her combative tactics have included vetoing proposals to hire external auditors and blocking attempts to impose stricter spending limits, leaving the town's leadership further paralyzed and unable to make meaningful progress. Public outrage in Dalton has reached a breaking point, with packed town hall meetings, protests, and social media campaigns all calling for Tiffany Henyard's resignation. Yet, in the face of mounting pressure, Henyard continues to frame herself as a misunderstood leader who is being unfairly attacked. She has dubbed herself the town's super mayor and insists that she is a champion for the people. However, her increasingly eccentric behavior during public appearances has only intensified the discontent. At one town meeting, she arrived holding a golden microphone, and at another, a DJ played Rihanna's "Bitch Better Have My Money" as she took the stage to address the crowd. These outbursts have left many residents questioning whether Henyard fully understands the gravity of the crisis at hand. Her blatant refusal to take the allegations seriously has alienated many of her supporters, with even former allies now turning into vocal critics. As tensions continue to rise, speculation about Henyard's potential escape has begun to swirl. There are growing rumors that she may try to flee the town before facing legal repercussions, particularly as her public appearances have become less frequent and her silence on key issues deepens. The FBI's increased focus on tracking her movements has only fueled these suspicions, further heightening the uncertainty surrounding her future. Adding to the cloud of suspicion is her alleged connection to Deputy Police Chief L.S. Lacey, who was recently indicted on bankruptcy fraud charges. The indictment has raised concerns that Henyard's financial misconduct may be even more extensive than initially thought, leading to further questions about the extent of her involvement in potentially illegal activities. As the investigation continues, the pressure on Henyard only grows, and the town of Dalton waits in anticipation for what will happen next. Local trustees in Dalton have taken decisive steps to limit Henyard's power, including revoking her access to town credit cards, implementing tighter spending controls, and launching an independent investigation into her financial activities. However, Henyard has fiercely resisted these efforts, blocking any attempts to introduce outside oversight. Her refusal to cooperate has led to a leadership gridlock, which has only exacerbated Dalton's already dire financial situation. The town is grappling with crumbling infrastructure, and there are growing concerns about the potential for missed payrolls for public employees. In response, trustees are scrambling to draft an emergency budget, but Henyard's ongoing resistance is hindering their progress. The fallout from her actions has escalated into a bitter political and personal battle, pushing Dalton to the brink of collapse. Meanwhile, the FBI's investigation into her activities is gaining momentum, with residents anxiously watching the situation unfold, hoping for justice to be served. While it's unclear when legal action will be taken, it is evident that Henyard's time in office is drawing to a close. The key question remains, will she be held accountable before she has the chance to flee, or will the community have to endure even more turmoil before the full extent of her alleged actions is uncovered? As the investigation continues and pressure mounts from the public, Dalton's future is hanging in the balance. The residents are waiting to see how this dramatic saga will come to an end, hoping that justice will prevail soon.
She's teasing a big announcement that she claims will result in some of her opponents being arrested and charged.
In 2021, Tiffany Henyard made history as Dalton's first African-American female mayor, a victory that inspired hope and optimism across the community. Her election was seen as a fresh start for the town, offering promises of economic reform, improved public services, and better management of Dalton's long-standing issues. Her platform, which focused on safety, community-driven projects, and serving the people, resonated deeply with the residents, and for a time, it seemed she was fulfilling those promises. Her popularity soared as people believed in the positive changes she would bring. However, just 2 years into her administration, Henyard's tenure took a dramatic and troubling turn. What started as a hopeful leadership journey quickly descended into a series of allegations, lawsuits, and reckless spending, casting a shadow over the town's governance. Reports of financial mismanagement became increasingly frequent, and her administration became embroiled in controversy. Her defiance in the face of mounting evidence alienated the very community that had once supported her. By 2022, rumors of fiscal mismanagement grew louder. The townspeople, alongside local leaders, began noticing that Henyard appeared more preoccupied with personal interests than addressing the needs of Dalton. The situation worsened when Henyard assumed the role of supervisor for Thornton Township, giving her control over 2 local governing bodies. Rather than leveraging her expanded position to promote positive changes, Henyard became embroiled in bitter disputes with trustees from both Dalton and Thornton Township, who accused her of corruption and reckless spending. Allegations surfaced regarding extravagant purchases, excessive travel costs, and a lack of transparency in budgeting. These growing concerns led to open confrontations between Henyard and Dalton's trustees, with many accusing her of leading the town toward financial ruin. Similar complaints from Thornton Township's trustees fueled speculation that Henyard had become a rogue leader. Once seen as a transformative figure, Henyard's legacy was now overshadowed by these corruption allegations. Her ambitious plans for change had been derailed by financial misconduct, leaving many to wonder how things went so wrong. As public scrutiny mounted, Henyard responded with defiance. Instead of addressing the allegations directly, she positioned herself as the victim of a coordinated attack. In a dramatic live broadcast, Henyard declared, "I will be seeking arrest for individuals involved. I will be pressing charges," framing herself as the target of a political conspiracy. Despite the mounting evidence of financial mismanagement, including millions of unaccounted taxpayer dollars and a rising public debt, Henyard continued to claim that her critics were part of a plot to destroy her reputation. This narrative of victimhood resonated with Henyard's remaining supporters, yet it did little to quell the rising outrage among Dalton's residents. As they watched their town crumble, streets falling into disrepair, public services being slashed, and the town's deficit ballooning, the question on everyone's mind was simple. Where did all the money go? Henyard's increasingly controversial behavior only deepened the crisis. Instead of addressing the financial woes of Dalton, she adopted a larger-than-life persona, referring to herself as Super Mayor and using billboards, social media, and public events to promote her image. Her conduct seemed completely out of touch with the struggles facing the town. In one instance, she appeared at a meeting with a golden microphone, and in another, she used a public event to flaunt her self-proclaimed invincibility. These stunts only alienated even her most devoted supporters, leaving fewer people willing to defend her actions. As the town situation worsened, Dalton's trustees scrambled to put in place spending limits, revoke Henyard's access to municipal funds, and restore some order to the finances. But Henyard fought back at every turn, using her veto power to block accountability and delaying any attempts to address the growing financial chaos. Her continued refusal to cooperate solidified the perception that she viewed herself as untouchable and above the law. As allegations piled up, Henyard's position as mayor became increasingly unsustainable. Legal battles over financial misconduct and potential conflicts of interest loomed large. She missed key meetings, became more reclusive, and drastically reduced her public appearances. Many residents began speculating that she might be plotting an escape to avoid facing the consequences of her actions. Others questioned whether she even understood the severity of the situation, as her increasingly erratic behavior made it difficult to discern her priorities. What had once been a source of celebration, the election of Dalton's first Black female mayor, had now turned into a bitter disappointment. The community felt betrayed as they watched the town's finances spiral out of control, and anger spread throughout Dalton. The tipping point came when the FBI launched an investigation into Henyard's administration, signaling that her claims of being untouchable might soon be coming to an end. As the legal and political drama unfolded, Dalton's future remained uncertain. Despite Henyard's defiant stance, which had temporarily earned her some support, the mounting pressure from both the public and law enforcement suggested that her controversial tenure was nearing its end. The residents of Dalton anxiously awaited the resolution of this dramatic saga, wondering whether Henyard would face accountability before she had the chance to flee, or whether they would endure more turmoil before the full extent of her alleged actions was revealed.
Henyard's landlord, and she says she came to this Thornton Township meeting Tuesday night hoping to get paid, or what she said.
Allegations of reckless spending against Tiffany Henyard have placed her under intense scrutiny, drawing attention to the mayor's alleged misuse of public funds and deepening the sense of betrayal among Dalton residents. As the town grapples with unpaid vendors, deteriorating infrastructure, and a growing financial crisis, Henyard's reported lavish lifestyle has sparked outrage. The stark disparity between Dalton's struggles and her extravagant expenditures has only heightened public frustration, with many residents infuriated by the reports of Henyard's luxury indulgences funded at the community's expense. The mounting anger reflects the town's dire situation, where basic services are jeopardized while Henyard's spending habits seem to have continued unchecked.